Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. All right, happy Sunday, man. Everything got straightened out with me getting in the hotel room. Ain't got no complaints. I don't really know where to go necessarily. Do I ever? That's the question. Not really. But at least I want to take advantage of the fact that the train station is like 4 blocks away as opposed to the 11 and 12 blocks it usually is when I'm walking from Studio Lodge Hotel. So I'm at NoHo right now. Everything's good except for the fact that there's no fridge in there. But maybe that could be the move to get myself a little cooler or something. My boy Joe showed me a cooler that he had. I think he was giving it to my boy Farai. And I think that's probably the type of purchase I need to be making right now, to get myself a cooler, grab some ice, and just make it so that I have my mini fridge for the night. It's a good day, man. It's a good day to have everything straightened out the way that it is. If anything, I just want to praise God for allowing me the opportunity to have a place to lay my head every night throughout the course of this process. It's not been guaranteed that I do, as you guys firmly know. In fact, it's been almost guaranteed that I don't in a lot of situations, and yet here I am, still able to say I have somewhere to spend the night tonight, and hopefully tomorrow I can be able to take the money that my uncle has given me once again. Very gracious as he always is, making sure that I'm straight and able to lay my head down while I go through these difficulties that I created for myself mentally. Difficulties, but self-inflicted wounds, man, done by mental health circumstances that I don't find myself ashamed of, but definitely am praying a great deal to find healing for. And so for all that is wrong, there's even more that I'm thankful for, more that is right. And praise God for that, man. I just hope that everybody's having a good day to start their week. This is a good Sunday. We got holidays that we're slapped in between of right now. And my Thanksgiving was amazing. And I hope yours was as well. Just a beautiful day. Lord knows if these chemtrails are natural, but they look nice. Probably chemtrails, to be honest. Nevertheless, we appreciate what we have, man. I think about all the people who are going through difficulties. I was listening to it, what my family had me on this morning, which was a different Bible study from my dad's side of the family. It wasn't Bible study, it was listening into their church. And in listening to them, what I found was that they had a situation where they were talking about being grateful, being thankful for what you have. And I consider my circumstances, I can't tell you how thankful I actually am. I'm extremely thankful, man. Things could be so much worse. And granted, things could be a lot better, of course. And there are people who are thankful to not be in my situation, but they may not have had the maturity needs that I have to grow up at this age in their life, to have to go through a few things and make them more respectable and respectful of certain circumstances that they have long taken for granted. I had those. I needed this, whether I like it or not. I'm in a space from which to have benefited from hard times, and those hard times have made me tougher. And sometimes that's exactly what the Lord knows you need and will provide for you. You might not like that He did that, but if you're receiving of the love that He has for you, when you come to the other side of it, you'll come out on top. And so that's what I've come to believe and understand, that I'm coming out on top because of my circumstances. Being a man who has taken certain things for granted, being a man who has not always looked at things the right way within what his own circumstances were. To say, God has given me this, let me appreciate this more by showing something else. And maybe it doesn't feel as easy for me to show, like graciousness to others, or answering the phone when they need me, or just talking to a stranger. Maybe they can use a good word that I have to say. A lot of times we may neglect to do the things that you should otherwise do, forgetting that that's the best way to show your appreciation for what has come your way. And so that's what I'm here to say to you guys. Sometimes when you don't want to do something, you got to think about something that came your way that you're thankful for, or should be thankful for, and get to asking the Lord to help you custom your mindset for the task that he wants you to try to attack or what have you. That's what I wasn't doing. Saying graciousness first, thank you first for allowing me to live, for being in existence, for which blessings can come. And then, Lord, can you put me in a position to where, even though in my natural mind I don't want to do this, even though in my natural mind I might not be in the mood for this, but I ask that you make it so that I'm custom for it. And by the time that we're done with what we're doing here, that I will have felt better about doing it than I do about not doing it. And I can't tell how many times that worked that way. You know, even when I was going for the Thanksgiving feast and festivities with my friend, I was telling y'all I felt like doing a playlist instead and staying in the house. I tell you, the best thing I did for myself was going over there, hanging out with them. And even though I'm more so accustomed to do that now because of the fact that I go out more and I'm just out and kind of walking every day like I have been, there were a time, as you guys probably saw on this camera plenty times, where I probably would have just told them no, not because I couldn't go, but because I just didn't have the mindset to bring myself to do certain things that are very simple to do, like hanging out with good people that love to, you know, sometimes it was more like, do I feel like being there? Do I feel like going? Now, of course you don't know, but if you ask yourself those questions, a lot of times you can make yourself think it's something that is totally not, or make yourself feel like you're gonna be uncomfortable when you totally won't be. And I can tell you, I'm thankful that I've overcome that to the degree that I have. Welcome the appreciation for things and have gone through difficulties and make me appreciate things in such a way to now, when I ask myself if I feel like doing certain things, even if the answer is no, I've seen how the Lord can make me enjoy those same things that the answer would have been no to. I've seen where the Lord has been able to get me some information that I needed in the conversation that came from being in those places. I can see where he made it so that I was able to taste the food or something that was so delicious that there ain't no way I wanted that memory not to be in my head. And stuff like that you just don't allow yourself sometimes when you have the anxiety issues or just not even anxiety, just the lack of will based on all types of other weaknesses that aren't even necessary to engage in. So that's what I'm here to tell y'all. My will is stronger to engage in things that I know are going to be best for me that I may not want to do initially. I can fathom the fact that the Lord has him and set, he has a path for me, and if I trust him, he'll lead me toward the right steps on the right path, so I can stop having some of the difficulties that I've been having in life that came from doing things the wrong way so many times. And now that I'm down here in this situation, there's nothing more that I want than to not be in it, you know, or to not lead myself toward worse. So I know what led toward worse. I know what put me in a position to not be as happy. I know what put me in a position to be frustrated. And I have no interest in being that. You know, my boy Farai told me about a space that he's probably at right now on Sunday, somewhere over here. Not over here, but somewhere within an hour walk of where I'm at. I'm not walking in that direction right now, but maybe next Sunday I'll actually go down there. You know, these type of things you just got to be open to. That I wasn't open to, that most of you may be open to. Going to hang out with people that you love and having a good time and stuff like that. For me, it was just about trying to bring myself to face the anxiety of being around others and how I perceived that. And once I realized that I didn't have a choice, that I had to go out and go to the court, that I had to go try to handle things in North Hollywood that otherwise I didn't know I would need to, based on these difficulties I created for myself. Now it's like, well, naturally, of course I'm comfortable around others again. I have to be around others. I've been stuck in the red in that way for so long now, over the last 2-3 months, to where it ain't nothing for me to walk down the street right now, seeing people all around me, ain't nothing to it. But it's the anticipation of my mind that often gets in my way, especially if I allow myself to be in isolation, before which comes naturally to me. So that's what I'm telling all of y'all, that you got to overcome that. If you have that same issue, maybe your anxiety gets to the best of you, or maybe you feel like you don't want to see anybody on certain days, just remember what I'm telling you here. And this is coming from somebody who thinks like that. I don't think that there's been anything bad about some of the things that I've anticipated not enjoying when I put God first and open my heart to having a good time. A lot of times it could be us that ruins that time, not necessarily the circumstances or the people around us, but our way of jumping into it, our way of starting that process, thinking that it's not going to work out. You make it so that they don't work out. You scrunch your face up, and then people react to that. Those are things that don't work. Or you're standoffish, maybe you're quiet. Instead of being as open and comfortable as you would be. And that's what you got to ask the Lord to help you with. So that in the process of trying to help you, you will see how he can open up doors from within those circumstances and make you feel so much better about your living that moment. You know, put the right people around you and bring your whole mood even higher than what it is that you would initially do. So that's what I'm here to tell all y'all. Get your head into a space of where positivity is welcome. Let that be what gets you started on your day. Let that be what gets you out here and seeing whatever the heck I'm looking at. If it's chemtrails or whatever it is, I'm happy to be out here. That's what I'm here to say. Whatever that is out there that's making the sky look like that, I'm happy I'm seeing it. And you know, many days where I robbed myself of that ability just by thinking things were going to be worse than they were, and then moving with that understanding without actually giving them any chance. So that's what I want to tell all of y'all. Give yourself a chance. You only live one time, you know, and we're going to be dead a lot longer than we're going to be alive. You're going to be in a dark box. If that's what you like, being in confined spaces, believe me, you're going to spend more time in that than you will out here in the fresh air. So appreciate this fresh air. Get a little bit of that in your life, man. If you're anything like me and you need to convince yourself, let this video be helpful for that. It ain't all doom and gloom, even though bad things can happen, and they can. But so can bad things happen on the path you're on when you keep on adhering to that. That's the thing we got to understand. There's no real science to this. You don't know what's coming. You don't know what's going to be in your life. But what you can do is be welcoming of good things. And from there, I believe you have a better chance of being all right. I believe that. You know, so that's what I'm here to share with y'all, man. Not that long of a walk. Get to the train station from here, man. Just got a few more steps ahead, and I'm telling y'all, man, I'm open. I'm open for the Lord to give me a whole new understanding based on what it is that I've begun to do, which is being welcome of good things coming my way. Even though I ain't been like this for a long time, I am now, man. You know, especially after the last week or 2 weeks I've had where I was down about some things that really had to do with my conditioning level first and what I was used to, and then thinking other people may be aligned with that type of conditioning to a degree to where they're used to someone else being that way around them, thinking I know somebody better than I do, or thinking I have a right to be upset about certain things that have not been discussed. It takes being in isolation and getting used to that, and getting used to how life is with that being your reality for too long, that can mess up your social understandings, that can make it so that you're not looking at people the right way in terms of, do I know this person well enough to, do they know me? Have we had certain conversations that would otherwise make it so that they would want certain things, and vice versa? And when you're alone and you let that be your reality for too long, those are the type of things that can go a bit to the left to where you're a little crazy when it comes to that. And so that's what I've been dealing with. And my friend Kay, and she's been very patient with me. But as you guys see, she ain't in my life every day. And the way I was acting was as if she was taking herself away from me because she wasn't active in my phone. When in reality, that was just my perception of things based on the fact that I didn't have a whole lot of people, if anyone, in my life from day to day. Now, I had people in my life from day to day, and then she moved away from within my phone, maybe that would feel a little different. Or even more so, maybe I would have been in a position to have put myself in a space where we had more of a normalcy. We hung out more than once or twice. But because I'm so used to not hanging out with nobody ever, I just get close to people without actually getting close to them in that way. And so thinking that someone else is on that same page with you just because you're like that is something that this taught me. It's just not the case. Not that I didn't have a notion that that was the possibility, but to have to face it the right way is what this forced me to do. And I'm thankful for that. She's not angry at me. I'm definitely not angry at her. I don't think she's playing games with me. I don't think she thinks I'm playing games with her. It's just we both have to come around to understanding each other a bit better, and as time goes forward, I'm pretty sure the Lord will help us do that if we continue to be intent on putting him before one another. And I think I have to do a better job of that going forward, and I'm not sure how she feels about that, but that's how it has to be. Put God first, not people, and then he'll help you handle what goes on with people. And so what I've been thinking about lately is just listening more when we speak, me and her, and talking less, taking what she says as it is, and not trying to read between the lines or think something is what it's not or something like that, providing skepticism where it isn't necessarily earned, and putting yourself in a position to just be positive when speaking to people so that you don't bring them down with what comes naturally to you as somebody who may look at things from a negative perspective but not receive it negatively, who may be projecting what you think could be wrong in somebody else's life when they're trying to handle what's right in their life and don't need your perspective, bringing forth thoughts that maybe they don't receive the same way as you're receiving your point of view. And that's what I learned. That you may understand what you're saying. They may not understand it the way that you do. You may be able to see the bright light at the end of the tunnel when you say a negative thing, so you'll have an idea of that they can heal. You incorporate that into their life, maybe they don't see no healing from that circumstance or your scenario. So that's what that taught me. And don't put that on nobody else's life just because you've seen something go wrong somewhere else. Now you want to tell them, yeah, this could go wrong, when they're telling you everything's all right. That's the one thing she taught me in that situation. Maybe I think it ain't going to be all right, but maybe I don't know what's coming. Maybe I can't see the blessing that God has for her. Maybe I can't see how she handles these type of situations way better than maybe the people I've seen. You know? And so that's what I learned there, and I'm thankful I did. And I'm glad I didn't lose a friend in that process. So that's pretty much what I got to say. Going to be underground now. BDF 44. Well, thank you all for watching. I'm out.